What's going on, everyone? Vitaly here, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you everything that you need to know about Pinterest removing links from your pins and how to fix that. This is something that can happen without you even knowing, and basically the way that it works is Pinterest scans your account, your pins, including mine, as well as everyone else's, and they basically take a look at your website, whether it loads well, whether it's a legitimate site or some sort of suspicious site, and if there is some sort of violation or something that doesn't load well enough or fast enough, your pin's link, which you are sending to your website, can potentially be removed, and that can be detrimental to your Pinterest growth and getting traffic from Pinterest, because if there's no link going to your website from Pinterest, you're not getting any traffic. So what I'm going to be talking about is how to actually spot if that's the case and how to potentially fix it, and more importantly, the big picture of what you need to focus on if you're in a situation where one or more of your pins are not displaying the link. Now, before I get into that, let me just quickly say that if you're new to my channel, my name is Vitaly, and I'm someone that covers the subject of online business, traffic generation, Pinterest growth, and all that stuff. I personally make money online for a living. One of the ways that I do that is I get traffic from Pinterest. For this account that you're looking over here, I've gotten over 5,000 clicks in the last 30 days. This is traffic to my website, and it's continuing to grow. And I just share tips with you on this and other things about growing your online business throughout this channel. If you're someone that's new or struggling to online business, my top recommendation would be to check out a link that I'll leave below this video, among others, to a free case study that explains how I create a full-time business and how you can basically follow in my footsteps. It's free, it's beginner friendly, check that out. But getting back to the main point, like I was saying earlier, Pinterest does scan your pins, including the website that you're linking your pins to, and if there's some sort of violation, they can potentially remove that link. So the thing to understand is I'm over here on an account called a place called Pinterest. It's a program that actually helps me with this process. But what you're basically looking for is, let's say you're creating pins on Pinterest. How do you know if the link option has been removed? Well, the easiest way, or it's sort of the easiest way if you don't have a lot of pins, and one of the hardest ways if you do have a lot of pins, is you just manually go through all of the pins in your Pinterest account, and you basically see if the link button is there. So for example, I'm in my Pinterest account. I have almost 4,000 pins right now. This is one I recently created, like literally an hour ago. And what you're looking for here is, see where it says explore or visit site, rather visit site, you're looking for that. And this option right here, if this isn't available or this isn't available, that means that Pinterest has removed the link from your website. Now that's assuming that you didn't forget to place the link. Now I will leave another link below this video to this resource that Pinterest themselves have provided with, where you can do a troubleshooting for whether your site has the right information, the right coding, and is basically having good hosting in order to load up when people click it fast enough so people can see your website, that it's not a suspicious website. And you can run through this tutorial and see if you're adhering to the rules that Pinterest has displayed. Now, the thing is, what do you do if you do scan your Pinterest pins and you don't see anything, and maybe a week later something happens? Going back through your Pinterest pins to see if there's a link, if there's any issues, it can be a headache basically to check consistently whether or not the pins that you've created or the pins that you're creating are having that or not having that. In my particular case, I have thousands of different pins, so I can't go through my Pinterest account every single day or even every single week or once a month to see if that's the case. I'm adding dozens of pins on a daily basis, so that would just be next to impossible. So one of the ways to check if your Pinterest account has pins that aren't having a link image is to use programs like Linkless. That's what I personally use. It makes the job a lot easier. And Linkless is a program that essentially you connect your account to your Pinterest account, that is, and they'll basically notify you if there's any link issues. If Pinterest has removed the link from your pin or from one or more of them, they'll let you know if one or more of them are AI modified, which you can also fix as well if it's not AI. And it's also a keyword tool that allows you to do a lot of awesome research in Pinterest. So let me show you how I use it in this case to detect if my Pinterest account has any pins that have links removed on it. So I'm in PinClicks over here, and what I go to is Account Explorer. Now what you want to do is once you have PinClicks, if you so choose to check it out, you're going to go to My Accounts, and this is where you're going to connect your Pinterest account. Now in this case, this is my Pinterest account. I click it, and what's going to happen is it's going to open up the information about my Pinterest. It's going to show me the pins, it's going to show me how they're ranking, doing, and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to want to go to where it says pins. Now once I click on where it says pins, it's going to load up the different pins that are available, and look at where it says status. You can click on the down arrow, and then you can click on Linkless to see which pins are linkless. And these are all of my pins that allegedly don't have a pin going back to them. You'll also see if it's AI modified, and that's another thing that this tool can help you detect. But you can see that there's quite a few pins over here that say linkless. Now one thing you would need to know is that this isn't always like forever. In other words, let's say for example you have a pin whose link is removed to your website. If you fix your website, Pinterest does rescan your pins and the links that they go to, and if it's working, it will be placed. This is how this tutorial, as I understand it, was explaining it. So what I'm trying to get at here is when I clicked on one of these links over here, let me just go through some of these. Like let's say this one, it says that it's linkless, but if I click on that, it's going to open up the pin. Guess what? The visit site option is still here, and the visit site option is also here. So this is telling me that it's not really linkless. That's a good thing, you know. A little bit of stress off my shoulders here. But the point being is this tool can make it easy for you if you're someone that has hundreds of pins, thousands of pins. If you're serious about Pinterest, I would highly recommend that you check out this tool. I'll leave a link below this video so you can start monitoring and being on top of things if there's a situation with the pin that needs correction. So for example, one of the things that I had going on was if I went, instead of linkless, I did AI modified, it told me which ones were. These 3 pins were listed as AI modified, and they're not AI. They're actually real images. And so if I click on this, you'll notice that there's no AI modified. It was there before, but what I did was I contacted Pinterest support, and I let them know that this is not AI, and they removed that label, and now the pin is continuing to grow. So this tool is allowing me to stay on top of things when it comes to Pinterest, taking action with some of my pins that may have a negative effect on my traffic to the website. So that's the thing to know. The last thing I'm going to say is if you're someone that's building a Pinterest account and you're trying to get traffic to your website, obviously this is something that can get in the way of that. And I hope that I clearly explained the methods that are available to you to fix that. You can either check this yourself and make sure that you have a good working website. That's really the best way to go moving forward. A good, legitimate working website that loads pretty quickly. That's your best bet to prevent these kinds of things from happening. And if you are someone that's looking to monitor your pins, if you have hundreds, thousands more pins, for example, I would say it's quite a headache to monitor that manually. So a tool like PinClicks can really, really help you with that. They'll let you know, and you can use that feature that I was explaining to do that. But ultimately, if you're creating thousands and thousands of pins, you will occasionally run into this kind of situation like I was sharing with you, but it's not that big of a deal. If you're seeing that happen now, if you are seeing this linkless situation happen very often, and you are running a legitimate website, what I would say is it's probably the hosting that you want to look into to make sure that your website is loading properly and well, because that is ultimately going to play one of the biggest roles in your linkless pins becoming linked again on Pinterest. So that's what I'm going to be finishing up this video on, and saying if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. I hope that this was helpful, and once again, I'm going to leave a few links below this video. One is going to be to that case study that explains how I make money online for a living, including with Pinterest. The second thing will be to the PinClicks program that helps me stay on top of this linkless situation, as well as AI modified models, labels on my pins which need correction if necessary. Just in general, if you're interested in more content on my channel on other subjects of making money online, you're welcome to like, share, and subscribe, and you'll be able to see a lot more, including future videos. So thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.